Let's talk about it.
Banger.
Good morning. Ready up, gamers. It is Monday, July 1st. We made it out of June. We're officially like halfway through the year.
Yes,
And
sir.
this is the 30th episode of
Crazy,
Ready Up,
dude.
guys. Appreciate you so much. We made it to
Crazy.
30, baby.
Dude.
You already know we are speed running through everything you need to know this week in Web3 gaming. Never a dull week, by the way. I am your host, Icy Gaming, running duos alongside Peyton Kaleva-Heya, Mr. Quicksilver himself, Web3 marketing lead for Shrapnel. We got a lot to talk about there. K9 of the K9s, that is Wolves Down, the best alpha pack in Web3 gaming.
You know,
Peyton, you're in a new setup today. How you doing?
Yeah. Unfortunately, not under good circumstances. It was so my wife had to go to Arkansas, which is like a 5-hour drive with the baby, and unfortunately, her aunt passed. So it was like one of those things. It was just not under good circumstances. So the two kids are in the other one, and Spider-Man, amazing friends, is babysitting them while we run Ready Up. But no, I think just all in all, the message is just, you never know, when it comes down to it. So be thankful for the life and be thankful for what you have. Very thankful for this show. Thank you for our friendship, and thank you for everybody in the comments too. But just one of these things that are just more sobering than anything. It wasn't like too sudden. But at the same time, it was still kind of like we didn't know it was going to be this week, and so it was just a really quick turnaround. And so my wife and everything started scrambling and all that stuff. But anyways, we got some news to cover. But if anything, my message is to everybody is just tell them that you love them and you cherish the time you have, for sure.
Well, our condolences to your family, of course. We love you, your wife, and your family. It's a really good message, Peyton, because we work so hard in crypto gaming. We're always on, and it's tough to
chronically online.
Unplug, chronically online, and so tough to unplug. And I've been thinking about that a lot, right? Like, am I sacrificing my family and relationships for work and whatnot? It's like, oh, it'll pay off kind of thing. So it is July 4th this week. We will be celebrating Independence Day in the States here. Sure. So if you have an opportunity to, spend some time with your loved ones, enjoy a cookout, take that time, because like you said, Peyton, life is short.
It is. Life is short, but you know what? You got to spend it with people that you love, and that's why I'm here, buddy. I was just talking to Icy right before this, and we were like, Hannah, who's over there, and just thought about this show, and was just like, I know you got to do Ready Up. You go do it. And so, love that woman. Oh, and I also got a cat.
Oh, shout out to the cat. Ooh, let's go.
I gotta take the cat out though.
So Peyton is on dad duty today, so we are going to be doing a quick show, or a succinct show rather. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You love to see it. Matt, Jaxie, AE, Striker, MyProx. Super appreciate that. Shady Shiba in the building. La Huang. I hope I didn't absolutely completely butcher that. My apologies, guys. Never a dull week in crypto gaming. Seriously. A lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the Dr. Disrespect fallout a bit. Midnight Society. We covered it last Monday, and then just bombshells broke right after. We're going to talk about the Blast TGE, bunch of tokens. The Metalcore token also launched. Peyton Cat maybe is sending the ticker. Champions Ascension announced key.
Yes, let's go.
We're going to talk about that. Peyton might have some keen insight there. Pudgy Penguins 200 ETH call from Luca Nets. Could they actually get to 200 ETH? We're going to break down why Luca Nets is calling for 200 ETH Pudgy Penguins. We'll also talk about the Beacon mint out, because hey, they minted out, so $4 million.
Which is good for our space, for sure.
It's amazing. It's amazing for the space. So guys, if you're tuning in on Twitter, please go ahead and retweet the space. It really helps us if you're watching there, or hit the like button, add some liquidity down below. If you're watching on YouTube, it helps us get the show out there. We do have a Honeyland Queen Egg to give away. So we'll be giving that away to someone who does that. Super appreciate you. First things first, man. I wanted to just quickly cover breaking news last night. Roaring Kitty is getting sued over the GameStop pump and dump allegations. So this is a class action lawsuit brought on by someone who bought into GME. This is not
Right.
like government or any like, federal authority being like, yo, you're doing some sus stuff over here. This is just a regular person who kind of put together a class action lawsuit, who is alleging, Roaring Kitties, kind of manipulating
Yeah.
the stock price here. So be interesting to see how it shakes out. I don't think, I don't know how much there's ground there is to stand on, right? Just post
Yeah.
memes. I don't know, Peyton. Do you how do you see this kind of going forward? Do you think anything will come of this, or it'll be like, bro, I posted a meme, like,
I don't think it would be coming from like something like this, but I think there's going to be definitely some investigation. I hear like in Silicon Valley, some of the lawyers out of that through my mentor who lives in Silicon Valley, that like they're really going to be targeting like these Reddit forums, which means crypto is probably going to be next after that. But we'll see how that. I'm very eagerly anticipating probably some people that are going to be going after these Reddit forums to see kind of like what the standard is. And so because like there is somewhat power there, like there is like, obviously you saw it with GME, you saw it with AMC, you saw it with all of these, they're pretty much just meme tokens, but for stocks, right? So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, you had to expect the lawsuit. Also Striker saying, yeah, absolutely. GM snooch.
It's super interesting, right? Because like I don't think that on a technical level he's done anything illegal, at least as far as what I know from him just posting analysis or posting memes or talking about it. On the other hand, I think it's like very clear that he moved the markets, which is like absolutely kind of crazy. So we live in this new age, in this new era, and I think that there does need to be some updating of the system. I don't know. We'll have to watch and see how that develops.
Chat is ripping this morning.
I know you guys are crushing. Real quick, let's give a shout out to the sponsors that make the show possible.
Yes, sir.
Starting with Immutable. Immutable's crushing as always, continuing.
They are.
Dude, they partner with Net Marbles.
Yes, sir.
MARBLEX. So, legendary developer out of South Korea. Traditional game developer. I actually didn't know they've actually been around for a little while with this MARBLEX initiative. So there's a few games over there. They've got Nino, Kuni, Crossworlds, A3 still alive, and Meta World My City, all of which will be moving to the Immutable ZK EVM blockchain. So that's pretty massive for Immutable to land that big partnership. I think, chain wars continue. Ronin and Avax have been getting some massive names, and
every single week, man. Every single week. I love it though too. I love it. It just shows like how powerful like gaming is and where people are like actually doing it, that they're signing off with like probably like the four main chains is there: Ronin, Immutable, Avax, and Arbitrum, right? So like people are continuing to flock to the space and sign with these major chains, and I love it.
Yeah. Bro, every time I like do a video for someone, like people on the team are like former Netmarble, and Netmarble is always popping up. So really big deal for Immutable to sign MARBLEX official. Although it's I was surprised, man. I was looking into it, very crypto like native project. They've got staking, they've got all sorts of stuff going on over there. So if you guys have not checked out MARBLEX, give that a follow, man. They've got some games live right now. There was a new trailer for Meta World My City that looked pretty cool. It's kind of like it reminded me of what Cityverse is trying to do.
Yeah, it's really cool. A lot of these ones are infrastructure. They're gonna go far for sure.
Next up, I want to shout out Honeyland, the official game sponsor of Ready Up, guys. What I want to share from Honeyland is, guys, look at these videos, man. This is what I want to see from a game founder. This is why we love Honeyland and we're so bullish on Honeyland. Corey is out here updating the community, putting in the work, putting his face forward. Every month they do these updates. He's always like talking with the community, always reachable. He was just in Vancouver with the development team. If you have not played Honeyland yet, guys, what are you doing? Download the game. It's free on your phone. I play every single day, so check that out. And of course, we cannot forget OpenSea, absolutely crushing. Dude, on-chain summer is here, man. They did 3 parallel drops, which
Dude,
was
I love
one
it.
of them was a free mint. So if you guys missed that, I am so sorry. Pay attention to what OpenSea's got cooking, man. This is just the beginning of on-chain summer.
Also, the eggs that we covered last week like popped as well.
Yeah.
I think they went up in like volume and also floor price. It's nuts.
Yeah, that was like the Bad Egg Company like featured mint that they had going on. I should have known, man. I should have known that like when they were talking about it so hard that it was gonna cook. It wasn't a free mint though. I think it was like 0.07.
It wasn't.
So it did cost a little bit. I have the stats right here.
I think last week when we covered it, it was like 0.1 something, and now it's at like 0.34. So it definitely doubled. Yeah. Blake called it right. Market movers, Peyton and Icy. And Sam, I did chuckle whatever you said, checking in live from grandmother's living room. Hannah's aesthetic is very much grandma's living room. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Shout out to Sam. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Last but not least, we got to thank CARV. CARV is absolutely crushing. They just announced their Alphanet, where you can set up your node if you purchase one of those. I think they ended up with $35 million in sales. Absolutely crazy. There's a little bit of work to get it going, but this is them decentralizing their data network. So there's a little bit of software that you can download and start running those nodes and participating in the network. There's a full blog post right here. Maybe we'll do like a breakdown at a later date. But thank you to CARV, Immutable, Honeyland, and OpenSea for making this show possible. With that said, Peyton, let's get into some markets, man, because the markets are marketing.
Yes, sir.
We had the monthly close last night, and the bulls stepped in and said, "Hey, we're not going out like that." So
no, dude, it's nuts.
Bitcoin is up 2%, which hey, like green is green. After
green is green, brother.
Few weeks and few days of red, some green is nice to see. 62,700, $3,466 ETH. Shout out to Sovereign Jawa. I think it is the ETF.
Yeah, ETF. I'll put that in the comments. Yeah.
This week. Solana up about 5% on the week, $146. Let's see what else we got. Avalanche up 5% on the week, trying to crack the $30 mark again. Ooh, Avalanche has been some buys that I've been looking at, not gonna lie. Anything else interesting here? Polygon up about 3%. Let's look at the fear and greed index. Still at 53, still neutral, which feels like a healthy kind of place. Weren't you guys against crypto gaming a few months ago?
GM, Kaggy, big dog? No, we were not. Kaggy, you might be mistaken that for another show. My YouTube channel is called Web3 Gaming, big dog. There's no way that I would be against it. Unless you want to buy it from me, Kaggy.
Shout out to Kaggy. Appreciate you coming through. I've never been against crypto gaming, but I hear what you're saying. But with that said, let's take a look at some crypto gaming tokens. We do cover some tokens around here. GameFi market cap $17 billion. So down from the 28, almost 30 billion that we kind of hit the local top for this market. Kaggy said he's pulling up with screenshots, my guy.
Get it.
Immutable up about 9% on the week, $1.59. I'm still hurting. I hurt and when Immutable's not over $2. My bags. Notcoin, dude. Notcoin is like the story of I don't know, this cycle, at least so far.
Well, it's just Ton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ton's absolutely just killing it. It's a top 10 market cap coin right now. And then I think it's at 9 recently. Yeah. It's just absolutely nuts.
Gala up 2%. Axie up 1.5%. The Sandbox up 1.7%. Ronan's a little bit flat. Shout out to Ronan.
I think Ronan has shown strength though, like in terms of like the amount of downfall a lot of other ones did. It was definitely the one that kind of stayed.
Oh no, I'm so bullish on Ronan. I said it on the last episode. I've got recurring buys in Coinbase set up for Ronan, Avax, Immutable, Bitcoin, and ETH, and Prime. Prime is the other one that I've got a daily buy on. Up 6% on the week.
There you go.
Back
I
up
see.
to about $9. I would have thought that we would have seen maybe a little bit more of a bounce here in the crypto gaming altcoins.
Yeah.
But it's still rough. It's not altcoin season yet. So
No, I don't think it's altcoin season. I think summer, a lot of it's just going to be bleeding. And there's also like no real big catalyst too. Like you look at it in terms of like the TCGs or not TCGs, the TGEs and everything that's been happening. It's just been pretty much dish down only.
Yeah. Ooh, Pirate up about 10%. I like to see that.
Even their floor price for Pirates were like 1.8 or something like that. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. If you look at the weekly, Bad Mad Robots up 57% on the week. That was a project that we covered early here on the show.
On Immutable.
Yeah, on Immutable. We called it at 2 million market cap. Nice. It's up 20 to 20 million now, so that's a clean 10x for anyone that.
And they're also their play airdrop is coming out soon too. I think they're like their play their demo or something like that. I forget what it is. There was
a new trailer. They're always dropping trailers, which I love their content. The trailers are bangers. Game up 35%. Pixel I think is from Wab and Sappy Seals up 24%. You love to see that. Nice. Star Atlas up 20%. Let's see, Nakamoto Games 18, Crown, the horse game, 14%. So there's some winners here. Wild World up 11%. So our gaming bags are rebounding a little bit, guys.
Well, they went pretty down, so it's good that they're rebounding just a little bit.
Yeah. Peyton, did you see anything pop out on the gaming?
Really, just Pirate Nation, just like freaking popping again. There's definitely a case study to be made over it. For just the fact that,
my goodness.
Yeah. I think it spiked to like a 1.8 at one time over the weekend, but I could be wrong there. I remember seeing something, a sell maybe.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Chain Coliseum up here. We worked with them through Owned, and then we did a collaboration through Web3 Gamer last week. So there's a few people in my Discord that got the guaranteed list for it. It was a free mint. You didn't even have to mint it, Peyton. They airdropped it into your wallet. I actually got sad when I saw this news because I thought that I missed the mint.
Nice.
But no, I had one in my wallet. So nice little 0.11 ETH there. Shout out to Cypress really making it happen with the
Cypress. That guy's awesome.
The collabs. Yeah. Overworld Incarna 0.59 ETH, Pixels 1 ETH, NB 0.27 ETH. Let's see. Sugartown 0.19. I'm actually looking at some Sugartown auras, man. I feel like this is like a good price to kind of get in. I feel like they're going to be coming and cooking with some stuff. They've been like teasing it on the timeline. And I think that they're getting ready. I was talking to Ray about it the other day. She actually bought like 2.
Nice. Well, I think like auras and everything like that, if it comes to like NFTs, I feel like they are one of the stronger ones that kind of like stood their ground. And like they're obviously not doing I keep on saying TGEs on any of that stuff. Like I think they're going to do well. And obviously they have like the biggest like fan of it in terms of the auras. So I don't know. I like it and everything like that. I actually don't have one, so I might pick one up.
Yeah. All right, Peyton, let's get into the news, man. Starting with, you guys see the thumbnail if you're on YouTube. This is probably what brought Kaggy in, to be honest. Midnight Society announced that they are terminating their relationship with Guy Beam immediately. This was breaking news last Monday. So much coverage on this.
Yeah.
It's probably old news at this point. We covered the story last Monday because all the allegations had dropped over the weekend. We actually had this tweet from Robert Bowling, the studio head of Midnight Society. When it first broke, he said, "I'm now aware and I'm dealing with it." And then the new, so he did, his investigation or got the information, and then swiftly Midnight Society cut ties with Dr. Disrespect, and the fallout has just not stopped. I wanted to share this other tweet from Robert Bowling. If you scroll up a little bit, he had 2 tweets last week. This is a statement for me personally. It does not reflect any of my companies and has not gone through any legal or PR approvals. He said, "I'm speaking from the heart here. If you inappropriately message a minor, I cannot work with you, period. I promise to only act on facts, and I did." So swift, decisive action from Robert Bowling and Midnight Society regarding Dr. Disrespect. the reason I wanted to talk about this, Peyton, I mean, you guys can do a deep dive on all of the videos, all of the allegations, all of the fallout here. But one of the things that I saw and I wanted to talk about on the show, Peyton, was I saw a lot of people like saying that DEADROP was DOA. Like there's no chance that they're going to make it. The studio is dead. The game is dead. Without Dr. Disrespect, there is no DEADROP. And I don't agree with that. Call me naive, call me optimistic, call me too positive. But like, I actually really, really respected Robert Bowling here. Because I don't think that he had to tweet out like this. I don't think that he had to, there's a bunch of different ways for him to handle this. And I think the way that he chose to handle it shows such strong leadership and a man of integrity and a man of morals. And I've gotten to like learn more about Robert Bowling through like interviews and stuff like that. Shout out to Cairo. He interviewed him at 3XP. And he just really strikes me as such a competent developer and just like gaming industry professional. So I really, really respect the actions that he and the studio took. So I'm sure it was not easy. Dr. Disrespect, definitely not easy. One of 4 co-founders. And of course, this is going to be like massive news with Fallout. So I personally am not counting out DEADROP. I think that this can like, all news is good news. No press is bad press. Yeah. I think that, when they do come to launch, they might even get a PR bump from this, right?
Yeah.
Taking action. Dr. Disrespect's former game studio, like, is ready to launch kind of thing. I think DEADROP will live and die on the merit of the game, as any game, coming to market. It's a hit-driven business. That's my hot take, Peyton. What do you
like it?
What do you make of all this?
No, we talked about it last night on show prep, right? I think there's two ways that could happen. One, like, is very similar to what you say, is that people actually affiliate with him and say like, hey, DEADROP actually moved really quickly. And they were actually covered quite a bit through streamers of like, oh, like this was a pretty big like sign, right? So like before the allegations really came out in his like specific statement, there was actually a statement from DEADROP saying that like we said it. And also Web3 gaming and all that stuff, let's not forget, a lot of them came to the aid of Dr. Disrespect for the fact it was just like, hey, like we don't know anything yet. We don't know all that stuff. But like, that wasn't the case for DEADROP. And so a lot of like people streaming in Web2 actually use DEADROP as like a reference to say like, hey, this is actually something really bad, right? So in terms of their mind, DEADROP did move really quick and moved really fast. And I don't think that goes unwarranted. That being said, I think that there is going to be the other side of the spectrum, which is like, I think it's like a 50-50 chance, really. Whenever it comes up, whenever it resurfaces again, people would just affiliate it to that aspect of things of like, hey, it was Dr. Disrespect's game. I'm not going to support because there might be like royalties or whatever in that specific one. I don't know. And that being said, too, I think when it comes to Dr. Disrespect, like we are kind of very much in the moment right now. We will see what Dr. Disrespect and a lot of this stuff pays out like later on. And he did say in his stream that like he was going to back away. I think that was to cover his own ass in a lot of ways, because I think there was a video of him like during one of his streams kind of looking to the right a little bit and reading it. And I think that's whenever he kind of like read that he got dropped from it. And like that's whenever he kind of said, I need a break and all that stuff, right? So I think he kind of did it as a thing, or maybe it was like very sudden as well. So anyways, there was just like a lot of like aspect of things. So I think it could go either way from here. But Sam does bring up a good point. It might be a tough getting a second round of funding for it being so tied, right? That being said, they might go through a whole rebrand. I don't know.
That was what some people were saying, like, oh, who's going to invest in this now? And I'm just like, from my perspective, what I've seen in crypto, like nothing ever dies, and like they've shown a lot of progress. So I think it is investable, right? And I just think like, dude, if Ronin can like go through the hack that they went through, if Star Atlas can survive FTX, if we can survive, the bear market, I think DEADROP, I think Robert, again, the actions and the leadership that I've seen from Robert Bowling shows me that like that's very investable in my opinion, right now. A lot of people are kind of talking about, well, maybe they rebrand, maybe they take out all of his assets, like I think that there's substance there, and I'm just rooting for him. Also, I did see a tweet. Sorry, I meant to put this in. I think from one of the developers saying like, yeah, we're not going anywhere. Like we got DCMs coming. Actually, Midnight Mayor, one of their prominent community members and content creators over there, put out a video last night talking about some of the updates and how he feels about the situation. And he was saying like it's all on the community. Like we got to show how strong we are, how that we believe in the game, that we believe in the team. Like there's a lot of people that were there for Dr. Disrespect, but there was a lot of people that also fell in love with the game and the studio. Keep in mind, Robert Bowling, I think worked on Modern Warfare, has been in the industry for quite a while. And a lot of people came into DEADROP because of that. So we will have to see how it breaks down, but it really looks like his career is over. The allegations are disgusting. He, admitted and confirmed a lot of details we won't get into here, but really sad to see it all kind of shake out. When I, as always, wish the best for the game and the studio, because there's a lot of talented developers there. For sure.
There definitely is. Like I've tried DEADROP and it's fun.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, Peyton. We got a lot to cover here. We're gonna go through some quick hits. First and foremost, we got Parallel League. They dropped the video. They dropped a 4-minute video, kind of talking about the Parallel League. I guess like qualifiers and then the majors. We got a brand new website for you guys to check out if you're interested in that. Shout out King Snooch in the chat. I know he's been playing a lot of Parallel. So this is their $500,000 prize pool. Shout out to Sam. You guys have covered this quite a bit on Gamified as well. So there's a lot of details here if you're interested in getting involved. Basically, you can just qualify and earn points and climb up the leaderboard as you go.
You go all the way down to IC. It's like a pretty generic one right there, how the league works. And it's actually pretty good. I like the way that they formatted everything.
Yeah, I do too. Shout out to Parallel and their community. I think that this is going to be an awesome kind of like test bed for their like esports-esque kind of thing. I know, there was a tweet when they first announced like the prize pool. Someone was like, why don't you just do a 5 million prize pool? It's like such a small percentage of your market cap and you guys could do it and all this stuff. And Sam had a great conversation on Gamified, and Koji was like, we're not ready to do it that big. There's still things that we want to fix and polish on the game. So this is what we're doing. And again, I think that stuff like that is awesome. It's reminiscent to me of like Shrapnel, right? Doing their monthly STXs. Like this is kind of how you can do it and figure it all out.
And good on Koji for like saying that they're not ready. Like I think a lot of like the retail crypto people, especially in like gaming, like want it to be shipped way faster than it is. And then there's like unfinished products, and like we're playing products that need to now be stood up like live ops. It's not really the best when it comes to it being seen by the masses. So 5 million, you get a lot more Juans, right, coming in and like looking at it. Did you see Juan say that he might be done? He might move on from YouTube. What? Why?
He was just saying that it was a conversation over the weekend. I meant to put it into the show. He was saying that he's like, I have other passions, like music and game development. He's like, I was doing YouTube as a hobby and for fun, and it's been taking time away from like his other interests, and he's like, I might just kind of put the channel on a back end. Sam says he's trolling us. I don't know. There was a good conversation. Some of the crypto guys jumped in there. It was I think, who was it, man? It might have been Coop or somebody else was like, it's bullish when we've got, when we're wearing you down, John, we're wearing you down. And he's like, it's not that, man. It's not interesting. I'm not even interested anymore.
It's the same content being made over and over again, right? Like it's the same issues, which we've seen even with us. Like I think we even have fatigue. It's just like, okay, builders are doing the same thing over and over again. Like let's try to change it up a little bit.
he saw the Beacon. He saw a great game. The Beacon was like, all right, like these games are doing a good job over here. So
best transition we've ever had in Ready
I'm
Up was right
losing
there.
my narrative. Yo, shout out to the Beacon raising $4 million. Their gaming mint sold out 10,000 NFTs at about 400 each.
Crazy.
This was covered quite extensively last week. A bunch of threads. We talked about it on Simplified and Gamified. So talk to me a little bit about this painting, because you're aware, right? Like, the NFT is essentially a warrant,
it's a token voucher.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Warrant, sorry, nothing's warranted.
Okay.
But, token voucher, but the TGE is not for another like 6 months or so.
Right.
So there's some time here.
No, I think when it comes to like the Beacon, I think if we reverse back to like 2022, it was like one of the only playable games that came out and it actually like hit like mainstream. And like by mainstream, I mean like all over the timeline. And they really popped off in terms of like their followership. And that being said, like, fast forward, they had like a cult-like community. And I think that's always something that like you don't like. If you look at like anything that's like really popping off right now that has strength during this kind of like low market, it's the Beacon and it's Pirate Nation. And those two have a community that is like disgustingly loyal to them on that aspect of things. And like you're able to get away with different things because there's a lot more people that come to your aid in it. So I think that was like something really big. But then, really what the writs of passage, the NFT is like 10,000. But let me just be very like clear. A lot of people can't do this. Like 99.9% of builders can't do this. There's even some people that like I was advising and saying like, oh, Beacon minted out. It's like, don't even think about it. Don't even ask the next question that you're going to ask in that aspect of things. And so I think the Beacon like did a great job. And this is actually like, if you zoom out, it's been a 3-year campaign, which is like a really long one. Right. And so is for Pirate Nation. Pirate Nation's been building in the space now for like 2.5, 3 years. So it's one of those issues that like, don't think that you can copy it just off of it. And so, Beacon, congratulations. I think they did really well. And I'll probably be doing a breakdown of it personally and Pirate Nation. So love what they're doing.
Absolutely, man. Love what you guys are doing in the comments, by the way. Absolutely crushing. Also, shout out to people who commented underneath the show on Twitter. We got Champions Ascension showing up. Stick around if you're tuning in. We're gonna cover your token announcement. Dub catching the show live, as well as Lucas catching the show live. Appreciate you. Crimson Caravan dropping the comments and the gifts. Appreciate that, man. Next up, Peyton, we got Planet Mojo announcing Summer Surge. I kind of love like all the summer events. Like it just gets me going, man.
GameFi
Summer, man. Launching on July 11th. Win Aura points to place high on the leaderboard. Win epic rewards, $25,000 in USDC and 1 million Mojo tokens. You can get a battle pass now for a 2x multiplier. Ooh, I like that. That's kind of I think that's like how it should be, man. Buy a battle pass, get a multiplier, participate in our game. I love Mike. I love Planet Mojo. I actually had he's a Massachusetts guy. We met up in Central Mass a few weeks ago and grabbed some ramen. We had a really great lunch. So he was telling me a bit about this and so much more. I was like, Mike, I was like, do I need to sign an NDA right now? Should you be telling me all this? So
he wants it leaked.
Planet Mojo is cooking, is all I got to say, man. They're just heating up for the summer. Next up, Payne, let's keep it going. Quick hits. Avalanche announcing solo leveling coming to Avalanche. Solo leveling unlimited. So it's kind of like the Maple Story U. We've got solo leveling U. So this is a crazy popular webtoon anime beloved IP, and they're coming to Web3, man. Avalanche continues to crush with these announcements. I actually watched some clips from solo leveling last night. I think you would love it, man. It looks like a sick ass anime.
No, what's it called? Blake, who obviously is a good friend of both of ours, he said like this is one of the only animes that he's watched that he really thoroughly enjoyed. And so I definitely got to check it out because me and Blake like usually like the same things. I also just like want to give a shout out to Avalanche. Like Avalanche has shown like a product market fit and like a business like specific fit for like these major IPs coming in and like wanting to own their own subnet. I think that's like really what like their thesis was on like the subnets, right? And it's just been amazing to see they've been getting like these major brands coming in. Konami last week, this week Solo Leveling, Maple Story last month. Like it's just absolutely crazy that they've been killing it. So congratulations to the Avalanche team.
Congratulations to them indeed. Guys, if you want to check out the website sololeveling.space, it is live, but you need a code. Hold on, it's loading up here. It's in early access, and you do need an access code. And there it is. So Coop, hook it up with the codes, man. I want to
get up with your boys.
Dude, guys, I encourage you to go check out some clips on YouTube. Watch the anime. If you're looking for a new anime, check it out, man. It looks really good. Let's keep it going, Peyton. Dude, STX was last week.
Talk about it.
Your boy put in some work. I ended up.
What did you end up?
79th on the leaderboard. Dude. All my missions completed. Over 5,000 Sigma extracted. My shoulder is killing me. I'm not the young spry gamer that I once was, man.
Dude, you killed it though. Like shout out. Like I think people don't understand how hard like Shrapnel is, and getting even like in the top 100 is like very difficult, especially with like people that are like cheating and all that stuff. Like we're working on that aspect of things, but not all the kinks are out. So that means that amongst even like the cheaters and stuff, you got up to the top 100, man. Congratulations to you. That's
I
awesome.
Appreciate that, man. Let little Icy earn some gamer cred out here, man. They said Web3 gamers weren't gamers, man. I'm out here. But no, incredible STX. I didn't get any work done last week, so I was just addicted to the game. So it's a blessing and a curse when STX is out, to be honest. Yeah. But Peyton, you put this on my radar. You guys dropped a blog post on Friday detailing 2024 and beyond. There are so many updates in this. Like, it's actually kind of insane. You kind of start out by recapping all the things that you've done, and then like what's next. So you're going to get persistent inventory. There's art updates. There's new gear, new Sigma abilities, in-game operators. So there's going to be operator progression and things like that. Valdalcha depots, which might be like, I don't know. For me, it kind of seemed like the kind of like loot boxes were kind of coming. Weapon charms.
I can't say that word, but yes.
Actually sick. I actually really like the weapon charms. I don't know if you guys have seen like on the gun, there's like a little key ring kind of thing that'll like
weapon charms are gonna
move around. New Sigma skins, printer and schematics. I mean, there's so much. Like I was really impressed.
Dude, I'm so excited about it.
Shrapnel just does not stop, man. It just doesn't stop. Like new comic books.
That's gonna be coming. And we'll get you one, buddy. We'll get you.
Bro, I got my comic books right here. You know,
it's gonna be hardcover for this one. It's gonna be like bound stuff. Yeah, dude, I'm like really pumped about this. So what we try to actually get this blog out for the summer solstice, because like halfway through like the past like 6 months, like what we kind of been doing, but at the same time like future, like what this actually means for like the ecosystem, right? Like I think for us it was like really important to get everything like what you mentioned, like with the Valdalchas and a lot of things that people have been like asking for us for a while, and we just need to kind of go through the process in getting them. Obviously take some time. So dude, I'm super freaking pumped, dude.
Guys, if you haven't checked out the blog post, go check it out. Shrapnel does not stop delivering. You absolutely love to see it. But we got a lot more to cover, so we're going to keep it going. Champions Ascension talked about their Keystone Foundation. So Keystone Foundation will be the foundation responsible for the Keys token coming to the arena. So there's a bunch of good information here. They actually announced the light paper as well. I dug into it a little bit, kind of talking about like the platform and the protocol, and there's a lot more that meets the eye here. So if you're a Champions Ascension fan like I am, definitely something to keep an eye out for. We did get a tweet real quick. I want to throw it to you, Peyton, but we did get a tweet from Johnny here. Talking about 1% of the total supply of keys will go to the Prime Eternal holders. Yeah.
And that's also, it's just Prime Eternal holders. There's probably going to be more from what I hear from the team and everything like that too. Probably participation, all that stuff. This is just for them saying thank you for what they've done. So I think it's very generous in terms of the whole supply going to the Prime Eternal holders. But like also just want to give a shout out because obviously, if people don't know my history, this was the game studio that I came from previously, and those prime container holders have been holding and have been participating in playtests like for about a year. So like absolutely love it. The team, Johnny and everybody as well, has just been absolutely phenomenal. Just been building. And I feel like they haven't like really got as much sun as others. But at the same time, I really do just love the team and what they're doing. And I'm hoping that Keys performs well so they can keep on building.
Sovereign Jawa says he's gonna start grinding Champions Ascension. It's on the fourth list down.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's a good sign when you get Jawa in there. Cool, man. Is there anything else that you want to add to that, man? Having worked at the studio, to see them now launch the token or announce, there's going to be a token.
I don't know too much about like how they're going to be rolling it out, but I know in the game, like there is a lot of like chrono experience and everything like that. So leveling up your character and doing all that stuff. And I know that they reward people that play the game, and that's what they care most about. So like what Sovereign Java is saying is like, get like your specific stuff like an elemental or whatever, they're relatively cheap and they're on Polygon. And so you just go in there, you grind and you get your chrono experience up, and then you'll probably get a bigger airdrop based off of that. But again, I don't know too much about like the details on it, but that's probably what I'm guessing. And there's like there's different type of game modes. There's not single player, but 1v1, 3v3. 3v3 is my favorite with Blake and everything like that. It reminds me of like WoW Arena. And then like the free for all, which is like 1v1, right? So it's crazy.
Hell yeah. Champions Ascension has been one of my favorite games ever since I found it in the space almost 2 years ago. So congrats to them. Love to see it. Let's go on to another game that we love around here. Metalcore launched MCG, Metalcore game token, last week. Got a little tweet here from Apex. 3 billion supply, 18% circulating, and it's trading at a 51 million FDV. 9 million circulating market cap. 11 to 18% unlocked tokens went to the community. Kind of saying at this price, it's another sign that the market is saturated with gaming tokens. Jonah was in the comments saying, nah, it's just not really a good game. So interesting to kind of see that. I don't know, Metalcore tokens here. I know that some people were farming the play to airdrop quite a bit. Actually, I did want to share from Yap this tweet. It seemed like he was having some trouble getting his tokens.
Yeah,
he was a little vocal, complaining that he couldn't get support in the Discord. He had to like go through Zendesk, and it'd been a few hours since he made a ticket. So kind of calling out the team a little bit here. Which you don't love to see, but at the same time, I really have a lot of respect for Yap. I think that he's a top tier gamer and a top tier community member. So, I appreciate him sharing this. I know, Jaxie, you were in the comments saying, this is why I follow you, not afraid to call things out. I will say, to give them the benefit of the doubt, things are hard, things are tricky. Bumps along the way are expected, but I hope that it works out for Yap. And the other players and users have a good experience. Definitely not what you want to see, but at the same time, I think that par for the course a little bit.
Yeah.
Peyton, did you have any thoughts on the Metalcore token launching?
Not so much. Like, I think I agree with like somewhat like of Jonah in terms of that sense. Like, I don't find the game as fun. I would say mostly just, and I want to caveat with this. Like, I just am not like a big like landscape guy with the first person shooter. Like, I like smaller maps. I like different types of like quicker to action. I don't like kind of a lull between like these type of things, and I don't like quests when it comes to that. So I will just say that's just my complete bias as a gamer. I will say like with MCG, like I think Apex also said it, just like there's just so much fatigue coming out with this, right? When it comes to these tokens, and like if you want to pull up the one from Vader, and it just really shows like kind of like where it kind of feels like this just kind of like weird type of lull that we have. Actually, we're going to cover Vader more down on the Seedify announcing new launch strategy. So never mind. We can there.
It's a great tweet from Vader. Stay tuned for that one, guys. We're going to be breaking down a little bit more of the markets, but I think that's well said, Peyton. It's well said. I'm exhausted.
Dude, I am too. And like, the thing is too, like, Yap and stuff, like this is kind of the issue too, is like you go in and you farm something really hard, right? And those numbers come in for like retention, and that's they put into the pitch decks and all that stuff for where they sell. And so like, you know, there's two sides of the same coin. Like the builders are just like, oh, you just want those things so you could sell it. It's like, well, yeah, I just freaking played your game way longer than I would have ever played another game. It's like I can go play Valorant, or I can go play Ground Branch, or I can play with my friends playing something else, but I'm choosing to play your game that you're going to use for things. And so it's just like kind of these things, but like all these airdrops haven't been paying out that much. Obviously, unless your name is Sovereign Jawa on that side of things, but like it's just not been paying out as much to like be somebody that's like, okay, I'm going to be like a part-time farmer. I want to play a game that I really like, right? Which is like Metalcore. And then they just don't perform as well as you want it to. And at the same time, you don't get your tokens. It kind of sucks through and through.
Yeah, I think that these things can be great marketing and great ways to get people in, but it's on the game to retain after that. You know, the game's got to be really good and enjoyable, and like people need a reason. Otherwise, yeah, they're just gonna farm and be done.
I didn't know this too from Sovereign Jawa. The MCG airdrop was super messy. 2 claim sites, 2 chains, multiple spots to link your wallets, too convoluted. So that might have also been the issue with the app. It's just like the resistance to be able to do it, right?
Which like lessons here, guys, like dear Web3 gaming, we got to learn from these things and these experiences. Think about the user experience and the user like flow throughout this stuff. You got to make it easy and simple. And again, I evangelize Shrapnel so much, but it's just because they've given me the best experience time and time again. I don't know. I got airdrop tokens on the website. Cool. And now I get to like spend them in their marketplace, and it just works seamlessly. Like I know I can like bridge tokens over there, but like I haven't needed to yet. And I'm sure when I do, it'll probably be seamless. You can buy tokens for their credit card on their site. And I've just had a really good time. Even in the game, you can craft and upgrade your weapon skins in the game, and it ties to your website. It ties to your balance automatically. It's seamless. Like it just works so well on the website that I don't have to deal with chains and claim sites and this and connecting wallets and all that stuff. Like I think that more games need to like take a look at, you know, what Shrapnel has done. And I'm sure there's other really great examples out there as well that I'm maybe not aware of. So
the beacon is like the normal one. It's just like the play to airdrop specific user interface and everything like that was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I just want to go back real quick to Jaxie had made a comment, like same with us, you know, we call it how we see it, not swayed opinions. I really appreciate that, man. I kind of find the way I think of this show and like my responsibility in this space and like what I'm trying to do here is like, I try and, you know, I'm chronically online. I just want to find all of the things that are kind of happening in the community and condense them and report them back to you guys. So when I see things from people I respect, like Yap, like, or Jaxie, or Jawa, like we want to bring light to that and highlight and let y'all know what's going on. We're not just up here to be like, yeah, everything's great. Like we'll show you the good and the bad. But let's move on to something that was pretty cool that I saw.
I thought this was cool too.
I thought this was amazing. Genopets launching on Apple Vision Pro.
Let's go.
So cool. So Genopets, popular game on Solana. Shout out to Jay. Absolutely love this guy. Every time that I hear him on Gamified or Simplified, also met him at GDC and then saw him again at Wolves Den. Just really deep thinker on the space. Really competent founder and builder. Genopets is one of the success stories from 2020, 2021 that is going strong to this day. It's kind of like, you know, kind of the move to earn. You get outside, it counts your steps, and you kind of earn through that. But they're innovating, man. They're innovating. They got some more stuff coming, and cool to see them put their app on the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, and also I agree with Sam. Jay is awesome. Have a talk with him. He's very deep thinker, and yeah, he's been in it for a long time, and he's actually been part of a lot of metas that have done well. So
absolutely.
Shout out to Jay.
Continuing on metas that are doing well, Nifty Island, their final play to airdrop campaign begins Thursday. So actually,
let's play.
Yeah,
let's play.
I love Nifty Island. Again,
okay, I haven't played it.
This is another game, Peyton, where I just think you're doing it so right. So it's browser based. You can log in with the browser. And it plays so well for being a browser-based game. It's insane. Also, probably the best Fatui in Web3 gaming that I've ever had.
Nice.
The immediate tutorial kind of takes you through the world, shows you how to use the movement, shows you what the blooms are, how to go from island to island. Really, really good. I actually spoke with Charles a few weeks ago. It's not too late to farm these airdrops. So I don't know.
Well, it just looks fun. I didn't really care. It looks
it's
fun.
super fun.
I want to try it.
Oh, it's super fun. My only thing like with the game is when I've tried to jump in and play, there hasn't been a ton of player liquidity. So like when I've played with friends and had a game night, I played with like Paisan and Ray. Like we had an absolute blast. But other times when I've just like tried to go in, like there wasn't enough kind of happening. So that was my only thing. It's like, you know, kind of like Decentraland or Sandbox, like, you know, it's a little empty, but I don't know. Maybe they've been picking up more steam. I know that they've been cooking in the back end, so we'll have to check that out. Jawa, let me know if this is one that you're farming. Yeah, you can go right now and play.
I'm down to play.
They do have, I think you can download the game, but like again, it's similar to Decentraland. You can play in the browser, and it works so well. Like it's shocking how well it works.
Cool.
We already covered Chain Coliseum, so I am going to skip that one. But next up, another play to airdrop campaign that was announced, Peyton. One of our favorite games in teams, Fableborne, starting today. Absolutely. So Fableborne announced their play to airdrop for Redacted. So we have to assume that a token is coming. That's what I would assume. They have not announced it yet, as far as I'm aware. So it looks like they're kind of teasing it here, which is fun. You can sign up and start farming their play to airdrop. But they also announced Power Protocol, which we've talked about this a lot. This is likely the foundation that is launching the Redacted token that will go on to be supporting the Fableborne ecosystem. So this is Power Protocol. And together it's an infrastructure play empowering games with Web3 live ops. So very interesting kind of approach there. Maybe they understand much more than just a token.
Yeah, definitely. And that's even with keys too. I will say like some of these people are a little bit more conservative than others. So for people that don't know how like a lot of this works, right, is like the foundation is supposed to be a separate entity. Like it's not supposed to be like the game studio and then like, oh, the foundation is just pretty much like, you know, it's pretty much just a by extension of it. It's supposed to be able to do other things, and like keys, foundation, as well as I'm guessing Power Protocol too, are going to be looking for other clients in which that their token can be used and utility wise for that. And so that's which makes it more of like its own type of company. And so I think it's really cool to see what they're doing. And I'm also very curious to see the different types of innovations that happen on that side of the house, not just the game side of the house. So love Power Protocol and what they're doing with the foundation. NJ, yo.
Absolutely. Let's keep it going, guys. We got so much more. We're only about, we're almost halfway through. PLUR Gaming Blockchain announcing or going live on Mainnet today. Full disclosure, I'm doing a sponsored video for them that will be dropping later, but I did want to cover it. This is actually player is how you pronounce it. This entire time I was like OnPlyr, plur. Okay, cool. Peace, love, unity, and respect for all the ravers out there. But no, this is player. It's a subnet on Avax, and this is the team behind Zoo Racers. So if you've seen DeFi Zoo Racer out there, if you played the Zoo Racer game, this is the team behind them. They're launching their gaming blockchain. Just wanted to announce or share that real quick.
Cool.
Kind of cool. Congrats to them. Good luck on the launch, and yeah, stay tuned. With that said, guys, we are at the halfway mark. So we got to thank the sponsors.
Yes,
Immutable.
sir.
Real quick, I'm actually we didn't have any IMX tokens to give out this week, but I'm gonna give out $50 in USDC, $10 each. I want to give 10 to Jaxie, just absolutely crushing the comments today. I also want to give 10 to Lucas for tuning in. So guys, drop your wallets if you can, or DM us, because we got to make this a little bit easier. Actually, I came up with an idea to make this easier, so we're gonna implement that in the future. Peyton, I do also let's give Matt DeFi's $10, always showing up and supporting and appreciate that. I also want to give Dub $10, and then we'll save the other 10 for a little bit later. Appreciate Dub tuning in as well. Your support means the world, guys. We couldn't do it without you. And Peyton and I have such a good time every week hanging out with you guys in the chat.
We do.
So really appreciate you. We still have the Queen Egg from Honeyland to give away as well. So stay tuned for that. But appreciate Immutable. Again, want to cover that they've partnered with MARBLEX, bunch of new games. If you go to Immutable's page, man, this is one thing that, like, one of the things that I love about Immutable so much. You just scroll down, man. It's just game trailer, you know, gameplay, just announcement with partnerships. Like,
they're cooking, man.
You really get the sense that it's just nothing but gaming. And listen, say what you want about Immutable. I hear the comments and whatnot. Immutable has been on the gaming wave from the very beginning. And
that's absolutely true.
And, you know, they've been pushing this narrative forward and supporting the space. I'll never forget when they were the title sponsor for NFT NYC, really putting gaming on the front page. So you got to respect them for that. And some good games out there.
Yeah, also just the amount of lessons learned from them too. Like, I think being the leader in the space means that there's a lot of arrows in your back, right? Yeah. And so they learned a lot. And so I think what we don't give enough credit to them, to Ronin, is that, like, okay, you guys were the first ones to actually go out there and do it. And then, like, there's so many arrows in their back, it's not even funny, that, like, everyone else gets to learn, right? Yeah. And you can say what you want about IMX and also Ronin. There are people that continually lead it. And so I'm very happy that Immutable is our sponsor, man. Just love it.
Absolutely. We got to shout out CARV. We talked about this last week, but guys, don't forget, Infinite Play Season 3 is live right now. You can earn soul and game tokens, double the fun, double the rewards. I always think of that Chris Brown, like, double the fun, like double mint commercial or whatever, or like that song. There are token airdrops from games to the top players, 1 billion in soul prize pool. This is definitely one for all you farmers out there that you should add to your list. I also saw that you can connect your Telegram to earn more soul tokens. So absolutely crushing. Shout out to CARV. They're incredible. You can also, guys, they have quests every single week on their questing platform. And we've been running gamified and simplified quests. So you can earn a simplified badge today by completing the CARV quest that is out there. So go check that out if you're interested, and tune in to Simplified later on today.
Yes, sir.
And if you haven't downloaded Honeyland, you're dead to me. Like, everybody is dead to Sam. You are dead to me if you have not downloaded Honeyland. Everybody in this chat should have Honeyland on their phones. If not, Icy is going to go crazy.
Should we do the Honeyland giveaway? I have the giveaway tool if you want to do a little spinner.
Let's do a spinner, man. But the winner better have Honeyland downloaded on their phone. And if they don't, they better have it next week, or otherwise they're dead to me.
All right, guys. 1 second to get like one of the entries in, but I think we have 15 entries already, so
let's go.
I like it. And let's see. I see Kagi's face on there. I would love it if Kagi freaking won. That would be hilarious.
Oh my goodness, don't scare me like that.
AE
back in the building. You love to see it.
I love it. So AE is the winner. Lau almost got it up though. 100%.
I got real excited for Lau. I was like, oh, let's go, Lau. Oh man. Anyways, guys, congratulations, AE. Incredible dude in the space, just crushing. So appreciate you, man. And of course, I had something from OpenSea as well, but I think I've lost it here. OpenSea was streaming with Prime. They had their Freeman, of course. Onchain Summer is cooking. I saw some basketball, or no, what was it? Maybe it was some soccer tweets from Oliver. So it seems like Oliver is doing.
He's back. He's
better.
Back. He's slowly getting there. I texted him the other day. He's slowly getting there. Love Oliver. Hopefully, keep on. Thoughts and prayers to him, man.
Absolutely. So, guys, call me a boomer, man. OpenSea is the platform that I genuinely still use.
I still use it too, and genuinely, OpenSea is what I use. So,
dude, listen, shout out to the other marketplaces, but like, I can't figure out your UIs and UXs half the time, man. To be honest, man, I can't figure it out. So OpenSea is what I know and trust, man. So that's where I go to trade my.
The only thing that I want OpenSea I want to fix, and this is for you, Oliver, is the search. Yeah. The search by far has been like the most painful thing since the beginning. Everything else, great. But if they can fix search, by far, like if you type in anything. It's like does not come up with the thing that you want.
It is a little tough to find things for sure. And then, obviously some profiles that shouldn't be on there. All right, Peyton, let's jump into the news, man. There's some hot news topics, starting with Helika. We love Helika. Shout out to Helika over here. Announced they dropped their State of Web3 Gaming report in collaboration with Pantera. Shout out to Games really kind of breaking this down, because you got to sign up on Helika. You got to give them their email to get access to the report. And it's a 93-page report. I was like, Helika, I love you, but nobody got time for this.
Chat GPT it, dude. Chat GPT.
So thank God that Eliza did the Lord's work for me. So Web3 Games have raised $160 million from February 2023 to February 2024, according to this report. They also report over 200,000 weekly transactions across the various blockchains. So you love to see that in gaming transactions, right? There's some stats here. They got the charts. They came with the data. They got receipts. The other notable thing, Peyton, over 70% of leading Web2 game studios are exploring Web3. 70%. That is a the majority of Web2 game studios are exploring Web3. That is just a massive, massive stat. And they break it down a little bit here. So when you've got names like Zynga, Ubisoft, Square Enix, we just talked about, Netmarble, among 29 of the top 40 studios by market cap, either actively developing Web3 projects or have dedicated divisions for research. So they're looking
100%.
into it.
No. So, I told you this too. Like you off show, you were like 70%. I was like, where are they getting this data? I was like, that feels right too. Like in terms of like just going to GDC and talking to a lot of them know about Web3. And also, like I told you too, the state of like gaming as a whole is in like a really rough shape right now too. So like they're looking at different ones that's like mobile development and all that kind of stuff, like mobile with the privacy regulations and everything that's happening right now with Apple and Google and all that stuff. They're like, hey, like I need to find a way to be able to do this. And like Epic being able to do it. Anyways, there's just a lot of people, like if they're not exploring it, it's like, not what are you doing, but they're at least looking at it as like a legitimate type of thing to see if there's a winner here. Yeah.
Love to see it, man. Guys, check out that report if you're interested. Like Peyton said, throw it into ChatGPT, or at least just check out the Games GG breakdown.
Check out Games. Eliza's freaking on pop. She's freaking awesome.
Next up, Peyton, I wanted to talk about this, man. Seedify dropped this video announcing a new meta for token launches. So we have been talking about this. The industry has been talking about the token launches a lot this year. The low float, the high FDV, and Seedify is a launch pad for a lot of tokens. And they are also calling out like, hey, this has not been working. It's destroyed interest in a lot of new tokens. So they are pioneering a new idea. They're calling it their Seedify AI Jam, and they are starting with some AI projects to start. Real quick, Seedify, like you got like an AI voice doing this thing, and there's just like text on the screen like it's Star Wars. Like I don't know, you could have had Meta Alchemist come out and talk about this, put a face on camera, like hire YP or Ash or what
there was a lot of voice actors for the last one.
what are the Seedify guys
touch fingers, guys?
Yeah, come on now. Interlinked. But no, really interesting kind of approach here. So they're doing like it's kind of like an incubator program, and they're starting with 10 AI projects, but they're going to give them like 2 months of support and marketing and everything. But they have to accept these tokenomics where they're going to launch with below 1 million FDV with a 75% float and tokenomics that are destined to outperform the market, which is kind of a funny way to put it.
Yeah, this to me, it's like, I think the concept is really cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like no one's going to incubate that. Like, well, in terms of legitimate game studios, like you're telling me that like really what a lot of these token launches are, let's just call it how it is raise, right? So it's to increase the runway for your specific studio. The foundations make the token, then they service the game, and they pay them off of the raise of that token. So when it comes to that aspect of things, it makes no sense, right? In terms of like, so that's like really what it comes down to. It's like, it's funny. In terms of like altruistic type of things, it's like a 75% float. They're pretty much doing it off of like these meme tokens. But does that mean that 75% of it, like, that mean that like it's unlocked for the game team as well? Like, what does it look like, right, in terms of the tokenomics and the pie structure of a 75% float?
Yeah.
You're telling me that like everybody, like there's a 1 million specific. I like that it starts at 1 million, but also 1 million FTV, that's like extremely low. Like, why are you putting it, like, why are you putting that number on it? Like, if it's a good game studio and like they're going to have a higher FTV just based off of with the network effects and the potential, like attention that it gets at right at the start. So I don't know. It's one of those things. It seems like Seedify wants to make a bag.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like, it must be 1% lower than FTV, 75% needs to be float, and like 10% needs to go to Seedify.
Right. Okay. Seedify is like, they promised me 100x. We're gonna get it one way. No, listen, really, really good points there, right? Clearly, I mean, when they say like, oh, new token meta, I'm like, I just go back to the exhaustion that we're feeling in the market, like more tokens, just more tokens. That's what you're telling me.
Without a use case, I think that's the exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
Without the use cases.
And I mean, that's a good segue. We do have this really good breakdown from Vader here on the gaming side. You know, Seedify, there may be some AI tokens, so maybe it doesn't so much apply to the gaming side because we are, you know, doing things a bit differently over here with an actual product. But Vader breaks this down. Tier 3 gaming tokens are down. Most are trading between the range of 5 to 15 million. Is listing your token on a tier 2 central exchange worth it at this point? And he really kind of breaks down all of the recent launches. It's a little bleak out here. A lot of them in red. But maybe this is like the opportunity, right? To get in. These are, you know,
if you go down to the comments, there's a one that right there, the top one. And it talked a little bit about Axie, right? And this is what I'll say, that to find an Axie amongst the tokens that it is now, you really have to do your research on like, you know, what that specific game would be and have like a really good thesis on it, right? Because like when it comes down to it, like you don't own any part of this company. The token isn't an equity-based token where if the game goes belly up that they're like obligated to return to shareholders. It's Fugazi. It just goes away, right? In terms of that aspect of things. And so when it comes to like the tokens, like it's really measuring network effects as well as like the utility of the game and how many of the network cares about the utility enough to keep on buying the token. So, and I don't know how to measure that. I think I asked you, IC's like, you don't know how to measure that. If we do, we'd be in a lot better situation. But I think like for Axie, for example, like those were network effects, the amount of transactions are happening, like, you know, pretty much like a DeFi protocol in a lot of ways of like the transactions and the TVL and all that stuff. I think that aspect of things, like whenever you start seeing games get to that point, you can start measuring network effects and like try to figure out a valuation comes to that. Because I think doing apples to apples to like stock market, like it's just doing us a disservice as well. And so very curious to see how it comes to Vader's point of like the tier 2 exchanges. Really, you're just doing liquidity. Tier 1, you obviously want, but at the same time too, is like, Axie didn't have tier 1. It didn't have Coinbase. It didn't have Binance right off the rip, right? It was one of those ones. This was like, are we just making excuses for games that just are not that good and probably shouldn't have released at this stage? Probably not. But at the same time, they need to raise, need to feed their families. It is what it is.
I will also say, Peyton, some of the launches that I've seen and like when you dig into the websites and the white papers and what they're doing. First of all, if I can tell that you use ChatGPT to write your white paper or write your website.
So bullish, right?
Like what you want me to invest my money in? Like it's kind of crazy, first of all. And then second of all, yeah, man, it's just, it doesn't strike me as like serious people. And like, I need to be sold and believe the vision and believe that you have what it takes to execute against that. So yeah, some of these are a little concerning. It's also probably worth pointing out though, guys, Vader, while I love and respect the hell out of him, he's talking his bag a little bit here because he is building monetized AI, which is designed to help design launches and track launches, and
Mhm.
he's looking to work with games and support them on their token launch strategy, which maybe he will solve it, right, and help them be primed for success. So he's able to talk about it because he's a domain expert, but at the same time, he works in that space, and this is a slight little plug for what he's building over there.
Yeah.
But hey, that's also just good marketing. And
Yeah.
and full disclosure, I also invested in Monetize AI, so I'm super bullish in what he's building, and hopefully we cook.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like these specific token launches, I just don't like, we haven't also seen like a game that's like ready to like have token syncs to the point that like it is useful. And what I mean by that too is like there is even token syncs sometimes in games, but they're not enough of them, right? It's not like to a full-fledged game in which that there's a lot of different types of ways in which that you can use it that is utility based. So yeah. NJ saying AXS was on Binance pretty much at launch. Let me check. I could have talked out of my ass on that one, so apologies. I'll make sure to remedy that if I did.
But to your point, and we've been harping on this a lot, but I just I just speak from firsthand experience, like giving the token utility or something to do. Like for me, dude, I burned a lot of Shrap minting some skins and crafting some skins and buying skins on the marketplace. And they gave me that ability to do so, and it was just super easy. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see a lot of people doing it. Now it's always going to be a question of, do your sinks outweigh the faucets, right? Are there, is there more demand than supply? Like that whole balance, I learned that firsthand from Ice Poker, in the play to earn era. Watching that token absolutely get destroyed because there were just way more faucets and sinks. So that's the next challenge that Web3 gaming still has to solve and figure out. But at least like give us something to do with the token, right? I don't know why people have a token and like you can't do anything with it. That's crazy. Like Pirate Nation, that you stake
funding. Funding. I see. Funding.
I get it. But on the gamer side, it's just frustrating, and it's hard to get into that narrative. I mean, give me staking at least on day one, right? Pirate Nation's like, hey guys, stake for our next one,
Well, I think that's like also the maturity, right? Like Pirate Nation also requires like that game has been like not in development, but has been live for like about a year and a half now too, right? So there's an aspect of that nature too, that like that game is available to be able to be played and to have different types of syncs. So totally here. And NJ was right. It was part of Binance Launchpad. So NJ, thanks for the fix there. I think just off of the cuff, I looked it up, so I might be wrong checking myself. Anyways, I just don't want to go too deep into it. But my point still stands about tier 1 exchanges and all that stuff too. But just Axie was the wrong example.
Peyton, I don't want to hold you for too much longer, but they got a few other news articles that I need to get your thoughts on. Starting with Luca Nets, man, Pudgy Penguins. So they announced that they acquired Frame XYZ and its team to contribute towards building Abstract Chain. By combining forces, we will provide the infrastructure and distribution necessary to usher crypto into the consumer crypto revolution. So Abstract Chain is going to be an L2. And Luca Nets goes on to describe the focal point of existing L2s has been centered around technological innovation rather than cultural expansion. In my opinion, L2s are the rails for the on-chain culture economy. And to fuel this economy, you need community, culture, and distribution. I got lost there. And nobody in crypto does those three things better than Pudgy Penguins. And it's their mission to build, to bring the crypto to the masses. And this acquisition marks a significant step towards achieving that goal. So Pudgy Penguins is launching an L2 apparently. And I got a tweet here from I think it's maybe the founder or someone working on Frame. He said, big things are coming. The wait is almost over. This is not an NFT chain. This is not a Pudgy Penguins chain. This is the chain that will onboard the next 100 million consumers into crypto. The last L2, which is kind of a funny way to phrase it. And real quick, before I get your take on this, Peyton, I just want to share. Luca Nets was on the Kevin's what WSH. It's I forget what that stands for. something. I wish I had it. Really great podcast. An hour and 15-minute podcast, super high production quality. Luca Netz, being Luca Netz, incredible innovator, founder, inspiring entrepreneur that he is. In this interview, Peyton, he calls for Pudgy Penguins to reach 200 ETH and talks about why he thinks that can happen. Essentially, and this is the end of it here. Here's the direct quote in text for you guys to make it easy to read. He essentially says there will be multiple 100 ETH floors from PFP's perspective this cycle. He's betting on themselves to go to 200 ETH plus, and the reason why is because of the unlocks of leverage in NFTs. Traditional finance is completely ran on margin of leverage. This is how money sloshes around and why the ETF is so big. NFTs are going to have ridiculously violent moves once we start catching a bid. It's going to be violent to the upside and downside. So be ready for it. And he talks about Wasabi being one of the companies that is providing leverage for NFTs. So like whether through call options or other things like longs and shorts, he thinks that things are going to get really explosive through them, which is really, really interesting. So there's two things that I just want to get your perspective on real quick, Peyton. One, the Pudgy Penguins chain, L2 being a consumer chain to onboard 100 million users. I get really excited about that idea just because Pudgy, I think was an innovator launching in Walmart and having the QR code to scan and then you claim an NFT from your, physical plushie. That's really I think a really compelling use case for normie and onboarding regular people into crypto and bringing them on chain. And then number two, this leverage and Pudgies to 200 ETH would be absolutely crazy. I think they're like 10 ETH right now.
Yeah. I think the first one, when it comes to like the actual chain, if you go back to the first one, whenever he says like, has anybody done it better than us? I think in terms of that, like maybe not this cycle, but last cycle, yes, absolutely. You had apes as well as Azukis. They had community, they had culture, and they had distribution, period. You couldn't go anywhere without the apes being mentioned. It was on Jimmy Fallon, Bieber, all that stuff. And a lot of people did actually want them to do a layer 2 too. So I shouldn't even probably bring that up necessarily, but I wouldn't say that it could also be done by other people.
Of course.
In terms of bringing it to the masses, I just and I think I talked to you about this last night, was just I think Coinbase and Base will be the layer 2 that ends all layer 2s in a lot of ways. It's just because it's as easy as getting on to Stripe or to Cash App or Venmo. I think that's really easy, and I think that that reduce of friction is just something that you just shouldn't just bat away. When it comes to this one, I just don't know how they're going to reduce the friction. And then if you onboard people into crypto, is it them just doing a custodial wallet? Does that necessarily count if you're going to be pretty much just doing the centralized tech that's currently out there right now?
That's a fair take.
Which is totally fair. I still think so. So let me say, to answer my own question, I think so. I think having custodial wallets and all that stuff and progressively saying hey, you have $20 worth of whatever, do you want to cash it out? You're going to have to go through these resistance steps now that they are about to be rewarded. So I think if they do a custodial type of solution in terms of a wallet, I think they can get to 100K in terms of that stuff, or 100 million, or whatever they have. 200 ETH in terms of the NFTs, I don't see it. Leverage and all that stuff, call options and all that stuff. The underlying asset, like I said, is it's based off of something. It's based off of fundamentals in terms of ownership, in which that fundamentals are doing. There's no fundamentals into NFTs or stuff. And if there is fundamentals, Luca, you're the only one that has fundamentals in terms of that, in that stuff. So I don't see the leverage being there for the fact that what, again, crypto people like to do it, but that's not consumer crypto. That's just crypto, right? So I don't know. We'll see.
There's some good stuff there, Peyton. I mean, with this chain, right? I wonder if we get a Pudgy token at some point, and if they are successful in onboarding a bunch of people, and however those revenues kind of flow back, and you know what they've done with the Pudgy Penguins IP and putting that collection first and foremost.
Yeah.
I could definitely see a bull case for Pudgy in that regard to like absolutely skyrocket. You know, those targets might be absolutely crazy. And if he's saying like, oh, things get real crazy with leverage, well, in that case, then like, okay, maybe you hit 200 ETH in like an absolute crazy bull run mania, but it just spikes there and then like absolutely, you know, demolishes. So there's a bunch of stuff there, but I think the main takeaway is, oh my goodness, Pudgy is cooking. Yeah. They got some stuff coming. I mean, they're developing their own chain, which like that's not so surprising because a lot of people are going the L2 route, right? Azuki is working with Anime Chain. I think that we'll continue to kind of see people launch their chains, but with Pudgy Penguin being such a leader and proving a track record of execution with Walmart and the plushies and just a brand that they've really established over the past year, it gets really exciting for like, you know, kind of these plans. And I think that they understand what's needed between culture, community, distribution, and whatnot. So tune in, guys. Keep paying attention. Yeah, I am. Yeah,
I have taken my face from calling Pudgies as number 3. So we'll
and the last thing that I just want to share from that is we got Adam from Pudgy Gaming saying, study what we are about to pull off. The next arc will be diabolical. With the Roaring Kitty meme tweet. So nice.
You're gonna get sued
there. Yeah, exactly.
Adam, you're gonna get sued.
And you know, just real quick shout out to Pudgy Gaming. You know, I think they've only been around since December of 2022. So you know, they're
I like those guys.
I'm excited for what they got going on. Shout out to Adam. Real quick, let's just do a quick synopsis on Blast, Peyton. So the Blast TGE launched last week. It is currently at 2 cents. Market cap 368 million, fully diluted value about 2 billion. Some expectations were like, you know, 6-8 billion, over 5 billion.
Yeah.
A lot of people on the timeline, a lot of, you know, potential FUD. I know you covered this on Alpha Wolves. What do you want to share here on Ready Up? I mean, for a lot of people, this is a free airdrop. You just farmed it. So I don't know why like everyone was fudding it so hard. I think it was maybe a little bit.
It's just like amount of like expectations as well as like the so there's two main ones. Like one of them is like Blur, right? Blur did not get the airdrop that like a lot of people thought they would for Blast. And people were like really upset because like those Blurred bidders were kind of the reason why like the transactional volume and became the #1 marketplace. So they felt like they got shafted. So that was like FUD there. The Blast one and specific FTV and all that stuff is just like the FTV is like can't like Pac-Man can't like control that aspect of things because like there has to be underlying buyers for it. And why people are like probably like more upset is mostly from just like a time bias as well as like a investment bias. People like buying different types of bigger assets and stuff like that to try to get a higher asset. And that's really what it comes down to is like there's too much like not just too much because like this is part of like the culture, but like there's just speculation on speculation, right? Like you're trusting this person to like give you an airdrop. The last 3 airdrops have like really gone down in terms of the expectation of it. And like Blast was by far like where people wanted that life-changing money, but we might all just come down to the realization that there might not be any life-changing money here, like by just doing a farm or to do an airdrop anymore. And so like that aspect of things is like really tough to like swallow, as well as like it's like some of these people have been like farming Blast Gold for like months. Right? And so it's the opportunity cost of that time cost that comes down to like, hey, I'm farming here, I'm doing this, like my brand or whatever. I thought Loki had like a really funny specific tweet of like all the Blast influencers. It's just like, hey, like do your it's like, hey, just change do advanced search, look up Blast, delete all posts, change to another specific one. And number 3 was like, if your name is ISOBeast, just delete your
no. To Loki's credit, he has been trolling masterfully lately.
He's good. It was funny. I think it wasn't any like, I don't think there was any like malice in it.
He also had something I think last night about like, here are the 5 top accounts to mute, and like Yellow Panther was on there because like Yellow Panther's dropping too much alpha and stuff like this. Like, just mute the guy, you know. So master troll over there. Shout out to Loki and Creator Nexus doing dope stuff.
Yeah, I think that's like what NJ said. Like, people that actually didn't really participate too much into the things actually like performed better in terms of the time per what they got. So
good stuff. I did like this tweet from Easy Eats though, you know, saying like the tokens were free, so any amount of is literally free. Your timeline saying people got destroyed, it's just because people didn't get more free money that they were expecting. Now to your point, people did put a lot of time and energy in. So that's fair.
I love Easy, but like some of these people put in a stupid amount of time into it, and then also a stupid amount of money. I think Easy's smart enough that like, and also like if you listen to his morning shows, like he's one of the most intelligent people like in this space.
Amazing.
So he has a very level head. Like people don't have like level heads like that. He's like, if like, you know, you get a 2 or 3x, like I'm out. And he's like, no, people don't think that. They go for the fences whenever they don't hit it and they strike out. It's rough.
But I think ICO Beast, like, I think he made like 60 grand or something like that.
No, he made more than that. He made more than that. But the thing is that he probably put it back into the system.
Yeah, well, probably.
But
that's not bad for 2 or 3 months, man.
Totally get it. The only thing is too is that like your brand is so affiliated to it. This is the only thing that I have with ISOBeast is that he probably could have done that without anything. But at the same time, like he's made his brand so much into it that like Blast has to kind of be successful if you want to keep on being successful as like a creator, right? You can pivot too once you have like loyalty with your community, but it's just one of those things.
It's for sure a little tricky.
My procs got $20 from Blast about my girl and I.
Hey,
talking about.
There you go. Jaxie calling it out. Trailers now. You already know. There is one quick news story, but then we will get right to the trailers. I wanted to share this, man. Breaking news last night. Sony Group. So, you know, that small little company, Sony. I think they made like a PlayStation or something like that. No one ever played it. They bought Amber Japan and officially enter the cryptocurrency trading platform sector. So Amber Japan is a basically an exchange in Japan, a crypto exchange that was actually bought by the Amber Group, which is a Singapore-based market maker. They bought this trading platform, Decurrent, renamed it to Amber Japan. Okay, 200 million. I'm not interested in that. Basically, the news is Sony is officially entering into crypto with this move, which is really interesting. Now, we've covered before, right? Sony and PlayStation have previously filed patents around digital assets and kind of like laying some of the groundwork for them to enter into potential NFTs in gaming. Those are some news stories from last year, but this is like kind of the one of the bigger moves that we've seen, buying this trading platform out of Japan. And of course, Sony is a Japanese country. So could they be making broader moves into crypto? Maybe.
Or just maybe using a tech stack. We'll see.
Yeah. Really not a lot of information here, and we don't know what their intention is or what will come of it. But I saw this break last night and wanted to share it with you guys. Dude, when Sony comes into crypto gaming, I think that's when we've made it, man. That's like our ETF, I feel like.
Well, they're like actually putting Sony and also Xbox, they're putting games on it, right? So like I think we're winning already.
You would like to think so. I don't. It doesn't feel like it. It feels.
Oh, we're winning. We're winning. I know that we like report on bad things, but like, the thing is that it's a very hit-driven business. So like the issue is that like the hit-driven business also means that like the tokens are going to be hit-driven as well. So when it comes to the aspect of them, it just takes one, which is what Axie was, and we'll see in the future what that one's going to be. And so, and the more saturation there is, the more that we have likely a banger. So we'll see.
Jackson, did I misspeak calling Sony a Japanese country? Japanese company. if I misspoke, my apologies. All right, guys, let's get to some trailers. We got some exciting ones. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. First up, I want to share Influence. Influence went live last week with their official trailer. This is a grand strategy space MMO set in a distant asteroid belt with a player-owned open economy. It's a slower paced game. They really like take your time and make your decisions, like maybe spending hours kind of researching like what asteroid to go farm or what kind of colony to set up. But really compelling game. I've spoken with the team here. And I know that, I know Peyton, you're a fan of Influence. Yeah. So let's take a look at their trailer.
We have finally arrived in Adalia, our new home.
I like how they've got quotes here. I think more trailers should have like the testimonial quote. Yeah. Pretty good. For space nerds and strategies, this game will suck you in deep.
Nice choice of words there.
I know. Did NASA make a video game? That's a compelling argument. My wife is going to leave me if I mention Influence to her one more time. Influence. Build, mine, trade, explore. Launching June 27th. Live now, guys. Go check it out. Really kind of like a release trailer. It feels harder to rate. I'm not exactly sure.
I like it. I'll do a 7.5, but at the same time, I'm going to be playing it. So this is a game that you need to play and you kind of need to immerse yourself in. Yeah. It's also not for everybody. So when it comes to this aspect of things, so just as let me just put an example out there why it's not for everybody. So like you have a crew and you have to like kind of put it from like one place to the other. And it's like in real time. So like if it says like it's going to be an hour, it's going to be an hour. But then like you mine, you build up your settlement and all that kind of stuff. Like I think the RTS elements and all that stuff, like kind of like the time it takes, it means that like you're not going to need to spend that much time in doing so. And so on that aspect of things, I think it's really cool. And so I'm a big fan of like Civ as well as like board games. And it reminds me of that. So I haven't really seen one in Web3 gaming. So I'm going to try it out. I'll report back.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what they're doing. And I like the team a lot. On a trailer-wise perspective, I think I have to go like 6.9. Like it's got some good. Yeah, I know. It's got some really good, exciting stuff for me. I do. Like I said, I like the quotes. But it doesn't give me like enough of that oomph to like make me want to go play. And I know it's probably tougher with
that's fair. Like this. That's fair
to do.
I think when it comes to the stuff, it's like it's not for everybody. So the trailer already like will turn off a lot of people just for the fact that it's like, first of all, it's a space game, and then also like seems very slow. So A says love the humor. Yeah.
We'll call out Jackson's comment here. Okay, guys, the AI video stuff can only do space games because all the content is already CGI. Space games are coming out like rabbits. Don't fall for the BS. I don't think that there's BS here but behind Influence.
They've been building for a long time.
Yeah. So it's definitely one to kind of check out. But yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. But what I will say is probably a really good genre of game for crypto. Like if you're gonna do a crypto game, like it's a good way to do it. But let's move on.
Also, like I want to just comment one thing, because like I know the Influence team, and like they've been building for a long time, and like they didn't do a TGE or anything, right? So like when it comes to it, like they are actual gamers and think that they're trying to do something different. So I wouldn't count them off just because they're a space game. They've been building for 3 years, and the founder's been in crypto for way longer. So
good stuff, dude. Well, I've said this before on the show. Influence, like I judge a game by if other people bring it to my attention. And I had someone in my Twitch chat when I was streaming almost 2 years ago coming in all the time being like, and someone that I liked and respected, who's a good friend, was like, yo, you got to check out Influence. You got to check out Influence. Like this game's going to be something. So like, that's how it originally got on my radar, which always kind of, speaks more volumes in my opinion. Next up, guys, got a trailer from Moonray. You guys already know I am an ambassador I host a weekly game night in the Web3
Dude,
Gamer
it's so
Discord.
good. It's so
Thank
good.
you,
I just want to
man.
give a shout out to Icy. Like, definitely join his Discord and definitely go to those game nights. I always like it. Every Thursday I try to join in. It's like at the worst time because I'm trying to put my kids down, but I at least come in and just troll whoever's up on stage for a little bit. It's a lot of fun to troll.
And we got to let Peyton get back to the kids, so we're going to jump right into this trailer. Let me know what you guys think. Starting off with some crazy banging music out the gate. Dude, one of the things I love about Moonray are the graphics. Also,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think I
very
said
distinct.
thank you for your kind words, so thank you.
Oh, it's
I love you. Gameplay, Jaxie, we got gameplay. Charge attack. So they're showing the moves here.
I love Moonray. Moonray's a lot of fun. Definitely skill based for sure.
All about the pairing is a huge skill in Moonray. And I like how they're doing these cinematics, the counters.
Yeah.
Really cool way to blend cinematics with actual gameplay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for sure.
I just like the music. You got the
The
grapple.
grapple hook is sick. They're gonna have like more of those items too, man.
Yeah.
I think those.
You can team up 4v4. Well,
These are the devs that made Naraka, right?
I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure.
It looks very similar to it. It also makes the reason why it like plays so smoothly and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, that power up is OP. They need to nerf the
Yes.
power up a little bit. It's or like have more of them in there. All right, guys. The trailer is 2 minutes long, so I'm gonna turn the volume down there. I want your ratings.
They're coming in high, 7.5, 9. And Jaxie's saying, I love Moonray. I suck at it. 10-10 by his end.
Jaxie's been a bunch jumping in the game nights a bunch. I love you, Jaxie.
Yeah, I would say 8.4 for me. I like it in terms of the
Yeah.
gameplay and everything like that. It's been great.
I'm right there with you, Peyton. I think I'm at an 8.2.
Nice.
I love the music. I love there's a lot in the trailer that kind of explains the game. The ton of gameplay, incredible graphics. A little long for me. A 2-minute trailer is a little long. I think they could get it across a little bit quicker. I think it starts to draw out a little bit. I got a whole bunch of random criteria that I judge trailers on.
You gotta give it to us one day because I want to know.
But like an 8 is a massive score, and
Yeah,
I think they absolutely cooked with this trailer because showing off the characters, the graphics are just so good. That's one of the things that makes this game stand out. And I had a 3-month ambassadorship with them, and they renewed for another 3 months. So I love them. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Jackson, it's 1v1 in it, man. I suck at it too.
The Play to Airdrop campaign registration is open. You can go register.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that there was one.
It's not intended for U.S. persons, so full disclosure and disclaimer there. But yeah, airdrop coming. It's free to play, available on Epic. If you need a code, let me know. Kay saying Icy's the king of 60-second game reviews. I appreciate you for that. All right, Peyton.
I got one more.
Okay.
My kids are already knocking on the door, so I got to get going.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. So let's do this one and get out of here. We're going to go to Off the Grid, man. It's not so much a gameplay trailer, but it is a little teaser on some stuff in their ecosystem. And it's only 56 seconds. So, guys, we're going to get this rating, and then we're going to let Peyton get to the family. Off the Grid is cooking. They had play
it looks so good. I want to try it so bad,
dude. Let me in the playtest, guys. I keep checking my email. I don't have access yet. I applied. I'm so jealous. I see everyone else playing.
We got to hit up Oliver. I think Oliver has it in.
All right, Oliver, hook it up. So they are introducing. This is their cyber. What is it? Cyberlimb showcase. The skunk paw. So this is how they're showing off some of the limbs. That's crazy. We got an arm.
Crazy.
Yeah, all of this for an arm. This better be one heck of an arm. Okay, all right. Ooh, what is that?
Nukes, man.
Those look like green. Yeah, the new. What was the Nicolas Cage movie? Alcatraz. Escape from Alcatraz. All right, so it's a little bit
Shady
harder.
Shiba said crazy off the grid. I taste, but I'd rather play 9 Heroes instead off the grid. I heard you're high, Shady. I heard people like love literally off the grid so much, but dude, 9 Heroes is also slaps too, so I can't like really argue too much with it.
So not so much of like a gameplay trailer, but what do we make of the teaser in terms of like how excited it gets you, how much they kind of show and everything? For a teaser,
the level of quality is unreal.
It's really good. It's a little long and it takes a little while to get there. I think they could have done it a little bit quicker. So I think I had to go like 7.7. Okay. Like I like how what they're doing. I'm interested. Also, just like the fact that this exists in their world, like makes me want to play the game. I'm like, I need to know more about this. What other limbs are there? What other limbs do we have?
Yeah.
It just gives me like cyberpunk vibes where like you're just gonna be able to customize so much and use all sorts of futuristic tech. And
I think the NFTs, like these kind of look like NFTs too. So I'm very curious to see how it goes. I would say 7.0, just like a flat, just because it is just a teaser. So nothing like really crazy, but I've also seen like gameplay and I really want to play.
Cool. I love it. All right, guys, that is going to do it for the show. Peyton needs to get to the family. Peyton, I appreciate you so much. We still went a little long, so I really appreciate your time. I love you so much. That's going to do it for this week in Web3 gaming. A lot happened. I expect more to happen. Maybe it'll be a slower week with July 4th. If you guys are celebrating with family, having cookouts, I hope that you get some quality time there. And if not, then good luck farming in Web3 gaming this week. Make sure you tune in to Simplified later on today, Gamified on Wednesday. Alpha Wolves is not going to be on Thursday because of July 4th, but we'll be back next week.
Yeah, it'll be back next week for sure. And July 4th and everything like that. Like there's probably not going to be a big show out for it. So we just decided to push it.
All right, guys. And with that, we're going to close it out. I appreciate everybody that was here in the comments. I'm going to give Shady Shiba oh wait, no, we did the Honeyland. I'm gonna give Shady Shiba the last $10 USDC that we had. Super appreciate your comments and everybody being so active here. We'll have more giveaways next week. Next Monday, we will be back for the 31st episode of Ready Up. Peyton, I hope you have a great day, brother.
One, baby. You too, brother. Love ya.
Peace.